was shaking me quietly. I looked around the cabin. The girls must have gone to bed. The fire had burned down to embers. My glass of scotch was still in my hand. Something is tapping on the porch. Then I heard it too. I grabbed my axe and lit the lantern. I opened the door expecting a raccoon or skunk, but instead found a boy of about 10 years old. He stared at me, petrified for a moment, then bolted down the path through the woods. I gave chase. He was losing me, but I heard him tumble on the ground. I leapt on top of him in a rage. "Why were you knocking on my porch?" I screamed. "My uncles told me to," he stammered. I was no longer angry, but confused. "But why?" I asked. "To get you out of the cabin." I was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around, he was surprised to see walls adorned by many portraits, all painted in incredible detail. With that exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable, making a concerted effort to ignore the many hateful faces. He turned to face the wall, and exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep. Face down in an unfamiliar bed, he turned blinking in unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows. There's something in these woods. I've been seeing it for months. Those glowing amber eyes, watching me from the tree line near my house. Every night while I park my car after an evening shift at work. Always just far enough to hide its shape. Just those awful eyes shining despite there being no light for them to reflect back. Lately I've been hearing it move around my yard while I lay in bed. Sometimes I hear it right outside my window. Though I'm terrified to look, I feel its eyes boring into me as I pretend to sleep. But I'm afraid to see what it looks like soon. I just pulled into my yard after a 12-hour shift, and I can all too clearly see those terrible glowing eyes. Only now they're right outside my car.